Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we need to chat about the books that I really want to read in the month of November of this year. So it's my TBR for November. If you are familiar with my channel, then you know that I used to play this TBR game called Book Bingo. It might come back in the future, but she's on a little bit of a break right now, mainly because she is no longer with us. The board just sort of got destroyed, and now I've also lost it, so I don't know where it is. So for now we're not gonna play Book Bingo, but it's also nice for me because I can really just pick out books according to my mood. So we'll see how mood reading goes. Like, I sort of have a set TBR, but it's already based on my mood, and then I might just not really stick to it if I feel like picking up something else. Definitely I'm still a bit wobbly, you know, with my reading. I've been in a huge reading slump these past months, so I need to just give myself some room to like just pick up whatever I feel like and not force myself to read anything. That being said, I definitely have I have like 9 books here with me right now. I don't think I can get to all of these, but they're just, you know, some of them are definitely higher priority and others I'm like, well, maybe I'll get to them, or maybe I just feel like picking them up instead of the other one. So yeah, I think the main theme for this TBR is definitely darker thriller, horror kind of stuff, but we also have some fantasy and some witchy books. So yeah, I'm very excited to just carry over the sort of like Halloween spirit for the darker month in November. I just feel like it's such a great month to just continue reading these type of books. So let's get started. Let's first get into the 2 books that I'm currently in the middle of reading. This one I'm actually hoping to finish this month because I have so little reading left to do. I just need to get on with it. So this is Kingdom of the Curse by Carrie Maniscalco. I hope I'm saying her name right. This is the 2nd book in the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. I'm pretty sure it's just a trilogy. I have been trying to like binge these books. The first one I definitely read so quickly, and then the first half of this I also read quickly, but I'm just like, I like the first one better than this one. I think the first one I gave like 3.5 stars. This one I feel like it's like a 3-star to me. The plot is just a little bit all over the place. So we follow our main character Amelia. She used to be a twin, so she had a twin sister who got brutally murdered. There are also witches, and it seems like someone is out to get all of these witches and kill them. So she goes on a quest to find out who killed her sister, and she teams up with this demon who turns out to be one of these 7 princes of hell. His name is Wrath, but you know, she constantly feels like she can't trust him, and nothing is really like what it seems. And then there's also this romance aspect between her and Wrath, which I am enjoying. That's the main reason I wanted to read this trilogy, for the romance. The plot itself is just kind of a little bit all over the place. I do, however, really like the witchiness of it and the way it's portrayed. It's like very like natural magic kind of stuff. Just, I don't like Amelia, unfortunately, especially in this book. The first book I liked her. I was like, oh, she could be so much more badass and special, but I felt like maybe we're leading up to that and it's gonna be really epic and cool. And now, yeah, I'm just not enjoying her. But we'll talk more about that in a potential review in the future, you know, wrap up of some sorts. For now, I just need to finish this book and, you know, we'll get on with it. Also, how cute is my bookmark? I'll link the Etsy shop I got it from down below. It's from Mind Daisies from Books with Leo on YouTube as well. I just really like this bookmark. Anyway, this is the first one that is, you know, like on my TBR, but I'm not even sure if I will read it in November. Hopefully I'll have finished it before then, because we still have a couple of days of October left. Another one that I'm definitely not finishing this month is The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. I was so close to DNFing this one. I am 190 pages in. Something about it does keep me going. I'm like liking the characters. I'm sort of liking the writing style, but it's so like, oh, it's such a big book and it's not keeping me intrigued enough. I'm a little bit bored reading it, so that is not really good. But also I kind of want to know, you know, maybe it picks up. I feel like it's going to pick up more. I kind of want to know what the answer to the mystery is, so I don't want to give up on it yet. But I feel like if I haven't still finished it in November, we might just have to DNF it and just, you know, admit that this is not for me. But this is set in like the Middle Ages, kind of like the 17th century, and it has to do a lot with you know, a part of history that I feel like is so awful, but it's not really mentioned here, but the Dutch, you know, golden age, where they traded a lot. My ancestors do, you know, a lot of spices and stuff, but of course it also has a lot to do with slavery that age, which is why I always feel a little bit weird. You know, it's really glorified, at least definitely in our history classes too, and I just feel like that's not really the look we should be going for. Anyway, besides that, that is the setting of this. So we are on a ship as well, and we're actually moving away from the Dutch East Indies to Amsterdam, so that's the trip. And we have our main character Samuel Pepys, but the thing with this is that they are constantly referring to like past adventures they had and something that happened in their past and all of that stuff, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm reading the second book or the third book in a series, but I'm pretty sure this is just a standalone, the first book. So we have Samuel Pepys, who is kind of like the Sherlock Holmes type of guy. He's like a super good detective, and then he has this friend slash apprentice dude that's helping him, that is like big burly guy who is very sweet, very dedicated to him. He doesn't seem like he's super smart, but I think he's pretty smart. His name is Arend, I think. Samuel at the start of this book has been captured. He's in chains. He has to go on the ship as well and go on trial in Amsterdam, sorry, that was a very Dutch way to say it. So it's up to Arend to like solve all of the mysteries on the ship, and it seems to be haunted. There seems to be this demon, and we have quite a big cast of characters and multiple perspectives as we like try and unravel this mystery. Yeah, that's kind of it, but it just feels very slow. And not all the perspectives are very interesting to me, and it just feels weird. Like I said, the setup just feels kind of weird. It feels like I'm just dumped into the third book of this series, and I just have to like figure out who everyone is, and it seems like I'm supposed to know already. But I still want to give this a go and just see how it goes. So yeah, that's another one. It's not high priority, but I have to try at least. Okay, next up is this stack of books that I haven't read yet, and I guess the highest priority of that one is Kingdom of the Faered, also by Carrie Maniscalco. So this is the third and I guess final book in this trilogy. Don't know anything about it, of course, just talked about it. Just want to finish reading this trilogy, and yeah, I have started a vlog for it, but I feel like it's been a disaster so far. I just don't really have the time to vlog right now with my job, so we'll see if that still ever sees YouTube, the lights of YouTube. But I do want to finish this trilogy. Okay, next is one I have high on my list, The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. So this is it's like a gothic thriller slash horror kind of thing. It is saying Mexican Gothic inspired, or at least people are comparing it to Mexican Gothic, which I really enjoyed. So it's a supernatural suspense novel set in the aftermath of the Mexican War of Independence about a remote house, a sinister haunting, and the woman pulled into their clutches. So we have Beatriz, and her father was executed, her home was destroyed. So there's this handsome dude, Don Rodolfo Solorzano. He proposes, and so there's like there's rumors going on because his first wife died under very suspicious circumstances, but she just ignores that, and she's like, okay, you know what, he can provide for me, I need security. So she says yes. But Hacienda's son Isidro is not the sanctuary she imagined. Her husband returns to work in the capital and actually leaves her alone in this like haunted house, and she starts to hear voices, she starts to see visions, and she feels like someone is watching her, so that's kind of creepy. And then her sister-in-law Juana, she just like waves it away, but she refuses to enter the house at night, so that's suspicious. There's like strange symbols and all of that stuff. She finds this young priest, Padre Andres. He's like her ally, he will help her. He's a witch. And then I do also believe that there's a romance between them, or there's some sort of romance. So anyway, I feel like my description of this book was all over the place, but I hope you got the gist of it. It sounds so fun to me, and yeah, this is the art copy that I got from Penguin Random House, but I'm assuming it's not too far off from the finished copy, so want to read this. Sticking with like the spooky theme, I have The Devil Makes 3 by Tori Bovalino. I picked this up when I was in London. I just thought it looked really cool, and I saw the signed edition. I was like, okay, that's mine. This is like another one of like a horror but with romance in it too. And so we have these two students, Tess and Elliot, and they find this ancient book, but then they accidentally release a devil that was trapped into this book, and the devil will stop at nothing to remain free. He's manipulating all the ink in the library books to do his bidding, and he's murdering left and right. Now Tess and Elliot are forced to work together, and I feel like there's like some sort of romance blossoming between them. It's saying compared to what the devil has in store for them, school stress suddenly doesn't seem so bad after all. So I feel like this is gonna be creepy. I hope it's not gonna be like super terrifyingly scary, but we'll see. But I don't know, something about this just really intrigues me. I think it's also the cover because it's stunning. After all of this horror and thriller stuff, we need something wholesome, something sweet. So I really want to read Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I don't know if this is indie published. I think it is, but this has been taken booktube by storm. I've only heard like super positive reviews. Again, another really like big cover buy for me too, because it's so cute. So this is high fantasy with low stakes and a double shot of self-reinvention. So worn out after like decades of like being a mercenary, Viv, the orc barbarian, cashes out the warrior's life with one final score. A forgotten legend, a fabled artifact, and an unreasonable amount of hope lead her to the streets of Thune, where she plans to open the first coffee shop the city has ever seen. So there's old frenemies, and there's a shady underbelly of the city that may upset her plans, and she'll need to find new partners and a different kind of resolve. And this is a hot cup of fantasy, slice of life with a dollop of romantic froth. Are you kidding me? I don't know if the romance is going to be between these two, but they look so cute, so I am very, very excited for this one. Okay, this is like the final book that I really want to get to this month if I can, and it's Furyborn by Claire Legrand. I've owned this book for so long. It even has a decal pages, which I feel like most new YA books don't really come out with decal pages anymore, but that was like such a trend in, I don't know, like 2016 or something. So yeah, this is a little bit of an older, I think, YA fantasy, maybe romance series. We have two young women centuries apart. They hold the power to either save their world or doom it. When assassins ambush her best friend, the crown prince, Riel Darden risks everything to save him, exposing her ability to perform all 7 kinds of elemental magic. The only people who should possess this power are a pair of prophesied queens. Prophesied? The hell? How do you pronounce this? Well, like with the prophecy. A queen of light and a queen of blood. To prove she is the sun queen, Riel must endure 7 trials to test her magic. If she fails, she will be executed, unless the trials destroy her first. And then 1,000 years later, the legend of Queen Riel is a mere fairy tale to bounty hunter Eliana Ferracora. When the Undying Empire conquered her kingdom, she embraced violence to keep her family safe. Now, she believes herself untouchable, until her mother vanishes. To find her, Eliana joins a rebel captain on a dangerous mission, and discovers that the evil at the heart of the Empire is more terrible than she ever imagined. So this is like a cosmic war that spans millennia. Their stories intersect, and the shocking connections between them will ultimately determine the fate of their world and of each other. So I am just really, really interested to see how this story will play out, and I wonder if, you know, like, how will the future impact the past? I wonder how that is gonna intersect. I think there's also gonna be a romance, just reading about her joining this rebel captain, so we'll see. I'm just very excited. I have this whole trilogy now, so I hope I'm really liking this. I can continue reading the other books. So this is also really high on my priority list for November. And then we have 2 more books that I would really like to get to, but I just don't know if I can and have the time. The first one is Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. So this is my art copy, and I still have not read it. So this is like a rom-com, witchy rom-com, which is really fun. Like, we still have the spooky witchy vibes, but it's a really light and funny. And I do believe it's a sapphic romance too. Yes, it is. So we have our main character Emmy. She's a witch, but she left Thistle Grove mainly because of heartbreak of this ex-boyfriend that, like, I think cheated on her. And then when she's home again, because she has to come home for some sort of competition or something, she runs into Talia Avramov, an all-around badass adept in the darker magical arts, who is fresh off a bad breakup with Gareth, her ex as well. And then he was like cheating on her and stuff like that. She and the person that he was, also another girl that he was cheating on, want revenge, and then they're asking if Emmy also wants to have revenge, and then Emmy also falls in love with Talia, I think. Cute! So I'm excited to read this. I just don't know if I'll get to it, but I will definitely read it at some point. And then the last one, it has been on my TBR for so long, but it's now renewed my interest after finally finishing the season 1 and 2 of the show The Witcher, and I want to read the book again. So I have The Last Wish, which I'm pretty sure is the first book with like the first short story collections. So you have to read The Last Wish and then A Sword of Destiny, and then you can start with like the first book, Blood of Elves, saying The Last Wish is the perfect introduction to Sapkowski's epic Witcher world, where one man holds the line against the demons that plague humanity. I did really like the Witcher show. I thought it was so good, and I definitely was confused at times still, so I feel like the books are gonna help with that. But I don't know, something about it is just, it's like intimidating me a little bit. But I do want to start this. It's not too big, so. And I have like the first 2 short story collections and the first book, so just need to get on with it. So that is it for my TBR for November. These are some of the books that I really want to get to and some of the books that I hope I'll get to read this month. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, feel free to subscribe if you want to. All of my social media has links in my description box down below, like my Instagram and stuff, and also my Discord server, which you're very free to join. It's like a mix of gamers and book readers in there, so there's definitely something for everyone. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.